Hello, my name is Delusion Dispeller, and I'm going to be sharing more on our teaching of the insidious addiction from this book, How to Break Your Addiction to a Person, by Howard M. Halpern, and it is copyright 1995. Today we're going to be talking about jealousy in relationships, basically jealousy and insecurity. I'm going to be reading a little bit and also talking a little bit, sharing some information regarding toxic jealousy in relationships. So basically, there are relationships where things are going well, but then something comes up that causes concern and red flags and discomfort and insecurity. And sometimes those insecurities are great enough that that relationship really needs to be broken off. And we're going to talk about where that comes from, how to deal with it, etc. A relationship with a significant other that is very, very important to you and causes you to feel very secure is based on, as we know, that babyhood trust, that attachment hunger being fulfilled by mom or caretaker. So at its foundation, it is basically the feeling that the person is there for you. They can be counted on and depended on. They're not going to hurt or betray you. Now, if you are jealous of somebody, you know how that feels. It's like this insecurity of this person is not going to just be with me. They're going to be spending time with that person over there. And they're going to become so wrapped up in that, they're going to forget I even exist. That's what jealousy feels like. It's this gnawing feeling of you're being replaced. And it's a very upsetting feeling if anybody's ever been through it. I've been through it, and it's not fun. I can tell you that. So basically, you're trying to find a way to share your time and affections with this person in a healthy way, where if they go and spend time with somebody else, you're not going to be freaking out like they're leaving you forever and that it's not going to work out between the two of you. But that's sometimes easier said than done when you've been hurt repeatedly in these types of relationships where people have replaced you and done that to you. So basically, the possibility of losing your favorite person to someone else is very real. There's nothing wrong with you. It's normal to want to have a security with someone, to not feel like, oh my gosh, if they go and talk to this person over here, it's going to be a betrayal of me. That's very normal. But that's why you need relationships where that doesn't happen, where you know that you can rely on that person to be able to be friends with many other people, but still come back to you and have that same close, secure bond. So some amount of jealousy is normal. We've established that. But when the feelings get to the point of insecurity, it rises to a really painful level of perception. You feel humiliated. You feel like not only are you lacking, not only in your mind does this other person have something you don't have, but you've been disqualified as being desirable to anybody. So the problem is when you give somebody the power to determine that you are worthy, to determine that you're acceptable and desirable and that they want you in their life. When you give someone the power to say, yes, you're good enough, or no, you're not, then you feel this really bad insecurity and paranoia. It feels almost like you're being mocked. You're being ripped apart. And you can feel very angry and full of rage, and you want to lash out and get back at that person that's, in your mind, making you feel that way. Especially because you are putting way too much value on one single person. I am speaking from experience in this. I used to do this all the time. And if I'm not careful, I can fall right back into that same pattern, and it becomes very intensely painful to let go of that person when you have to. Let's talk about some myths of deprecation. Oh, by the way, when you overvalue someone, you stay with them even when they're just not healthy for you to stay with anymore also. So some myths of self-deprecation. Number one, if someone else wants my prized partner, then they must be really valuable. a lot more valuable than I think they are. And number two, if my partner wants to be with this other person, then they got to be better than I am. And I'm just not good enough. So they're just dismissing me. They're leaving me for this other person. Okay.